Miller, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And I go live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock to show you what I've been working on and things going on at Stampin' Up! And stuff like that. So here I am today, and I am bringing you a sneak peek of some online exclusives that are going live next week on July 1st. So it's very exciting. We're up to July 1st. And while much of this particular release of online exclusives is Christmas and fall. This one particular bundle is not, and it is summer based, and I wanted to share it with you today. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here we have, this is the bundle. So this is the stamp set that we have to work with. So we've got some flip-flops, we've got sunglasses, a camera. So great for a summer vacation with the sunshine and maybe some tropical pineapple. So we have that, but it also comes with these dies, and these dies obviously coordinate with the stamps that we have, but it also coordinates with my favorite thing, washi tape. So there is a roll of washi tape that you can get. It is also called Summer Happiness washi tape. And as you can see, it has got tons um, of summer items, same as in the stamp set, but these are all already colored, right? And so really easy to work with. And best of all, they coordinate with the dies that come with the bundle. So lots that you can do with this. We do have another summer bundle that has a few similar elements that is in the May to August catalog, but this one is a little different because it has the washi tape that goes with it. So, slightly different style. I definitely had wanted to get a summer set for this year, and I hadn't purchased the other one yet, which I did. I think it is adorable. I suggest that you go and look at it. But then I saw that this was coming and we were allowed to pre-order them. And I am a sucker for the washi tape with the die cuts. I think this is the greatest invention since sliced bread. I love the idea that we can cut them out and use them, and they're already colored and they're just so fun to work with. The washi tape can be used on your card front itself. You can use it in a scrapbook, right? How great is this for maybe a border on your scrapbook page? So lots of things that you can be doing with this washi tape. But we're going to go ahead and make a card. So let's go ahead and do that. And I want to first show you how I work with the washi tape. Now, the washi tape is super thin, and you can see how it comes off the roll, right? I've actually pulled this off I did this at a team meeting. We all made this card at my monthly team meeting. We always make a card, and I send out supplies that are brand new to make sure that everybody has something new to work with. And we made this card, so I've already been pulling this off the roll, but you can see that when I work with it, if you go to work with this, it's sticky on the back, right? So how are you going to die cut that out? Well, the answer is you're going to adhere it to a piece of, I put it on basic white cardstock, or this is the white Willow. You can use either one. You can also use a color, and that will show through because it's almost like, so you can see this is the reverse side. It's like a vellum, right? So you can kind of see the reverse side, and of course that has the adhesive on it. So, but I typically will use white, and all I'll do is I'll peel off a little off the roll. And now this particular piece is 3¼ by 5½, but if you want the whole thing, you're going to want to use 3½ inches wide, but you'll see in a minute why we did not do that. But you can see I'm just lining up the edge. I'm not going crazy, and I'm just going to lay it down and press it until I get to the end of the paper. And you can trim it. Sometimes I'll even just tear it. This time I'm going to actually trim it. But it tears very easily. But because this is going on a card. Huh, I could have shown you what I do with that, but you can see that it hangs over the edge a little bit. So if you wanted to, you could trim that as well. But for this, actually what I do is I hold it up and I put it down. Anne, are you always in Kansas, or is this a different Anne that I was thinking? Hello. Hi, Susan. Thanks for joining today. So you can see that I just pushed that back, folded it over, and I just press it down, and now that's on there. So we can work with this in any number of ways. So one of the things that I love to do, as I mentioned before, is die cut them out, and these can become elements on our card. So here are all the different dies, and I don't know what the repeat is on this. Like when you get wallpaper, you have to know what the length of the repeat is in order to line up the wallpaper. Hello, Janice from Montana. Thank you so much for joining. Anyway, we have, you can see that when we work with the extraordinary flora washi tape, it has about a 5.5-inch repeat. This one is much more than that, because even though we're going to repeat and have more sunglasses, they're in a different place, and they're different colors, so it's not a repeat. So I don't know what the repeat is. I haven't done that measurement. I keep saying I'm going to do that, but regardless, what I do is I'll just I see what's on my paper, and I will just line up the dies. You can see, look how easy this is, right? Line up the dies that are on there that are whole images. Now remember, I folded it over, so some of these are not exactly right. So you can see for this one, I line up that sun with the longest ray there, and push it over a little bit. So this one might get cut off a little bit, and that's okay, but we have a flower. So you can see they're really easy to line up. Now, yes, I did do this quite a few times, because when I do my team meetings, that's a lot of cards that I prepare, and I had pre-cut out all of these elements. Now, if you don't want to get the dies, you don't have to. You can just get the washi tape and you can fussy cut these. And you know what? Good for you if you're ready to do that. I am not a fussy cutter. I will do it if I have to, but I don't enjoy it. So like some people do. And you can see, look how many I'm getting out of one pass through my die cut machine. So as you know, it's going to go through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine just as usual, and you're going to have 6 die cuts come out right away. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that because I've already cut out some, but you can see how that works. So you just put it in your usual sandwich, which is your platform, your number 2 plate, and then 2 of the acrylic number 3 plates, and that's how that will work. So I have a whole bunch of them cut out already. We've got some sunglasses, and actually these are some of them that did not get included in my my card kits that I sent out to my team members. So these are just the leftovers. So I love hanging on to them, because you never know when you need a little flower to add to a card. I got some more, and you notice I have the sunglasses, and to be honest, you'll see in a second, but the sunglasses are a focal point on my card. So, all right, so you see those are some of the die cuts. I couldn't believe how fast I was able to cut them out. So let's go ahead and make the cards that we made in my team meeting. So this is how it comes. I always, when I do card kits, I put them in a little Zello envelope, and I use Coastal Cabana. I'm going to go ahead and put some white on the inside, as I normally do, just so that when I go to write in the card, I can see what I'm writing. You could, of course, use wet adhesive, whatever makes sense to you. And then I'm going to take out this piece. So this is what I just showed you. I flipped it over. I pushed it down. I'm going to just give it a little extra, because this has been sitting for a few weeks now in the envelope. And instead of just putting it straight on the card, I cut out 2 strips of, this is the Strawberry Slush 2-tone paper, so you can see that it's different colors on the other side, right? And these are just a 1/2 inch wide by 5.5 inches, and I would like to put a little border on this. and that helps seal everything in. And the hardest part, of course, is getting it lined up properly. And if I'm not perfect, I apologize. But doing it with a camera in your face can be a little challenging. And so we're going to do that. And I'm going to do it on the top and the bottom. Now, could I have taken a full piece of, 3.5-inch wide piece of strawberry slush? Yes, of course I could have, but that would waste a lot of paper. So, and I also could have flipped over and used the light side, the strawberry slush on the light side if I wanted to. So those are just some choices that you can make. And of course you could use any color there for your border. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this. Did that come out over here? I don't think so. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I feel like my stamp and seal not working at the moment. Nope, it is broken. Okay, best laid plans. Okay, we're going to switch to wet adhesive, which is fine. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to squish a bunch on there, and I'm just going to center this on my card front. And you can see we now have our own designer series paper with the washi tape, right? We've got a little bit of a border going on, and this is the background for our focal point that we're going to put on our card. Now, I wanted to show you that some of the elements, particularly these sunglasses, I don't want to lose my dies here, but the sunglasses and the flip-flops can be made, and probably the flowers as well, these flowers can all be made without stamping and just die cutting. So I cut out the frames for the sunglasses, and then these are actually the lenses for the sunglasses, but you have to note that there is a left and a right side, so you want to make sure that you add them to your sunglasses the right way. And so when I was cutting out dozens of these, I had to keep the lefts and the rights separated to make sure everybody got a left and a right. I'm not sure if you flip it over what would happen, but it might work. I don't know if they're exactly symmetrical. That might work, but I didn't figure that out. And then if you wanted to do flip-flops, these are the tongs, or I don't know what you call them. I call them tongs on the flip-flops. And then these are, you could use the big flip-flops to make those. You make, one for each. Again, they lean, this one leans left, this one leans right. Or you could even use them on the smaller ones, which I did by accident, but it worked out okay. So we're going to go ahead and put together our sunglasses. And again, I'm just going to use my wet adhesive, just add a little bit. And again, working with my left and right lens, making sure I've got that. You could use, like a silver paper if you wanted to make those, shiny sunglasses. I can't remember the name for it right now. But there we have our sunglasses. And then everybody got a different cutout from, the assortment that I had gotten. And this particular kit, I had one left over. I was making extra. Had this flower, so you can see it's the same as this flower, just a different color. And I think no matter what you got, it was good. It was going to work. And just so you know, I cut out this is about 2 1/8-inch circle. This is cut with the Stylish Shapes dies. And I did use the two-tone paper, but you can see that I used the darker side so that it matched the card base. And then I have this circle is 1 7/8 inches. So I punched that out, and I'm just going to take my strawberry slush, and I picked out one of the sentiments. It's fun in the sun. And there we go. And I'm going to make a bunch of these cards to give to my girlfriends when we go down the shore. I always like to bring a card and a little gift, when we get together down there they stay a week. We stay just a couple of days. But I'm going to make a bunch of these for them because we're going to have fun in the sun. And there we go. Got that on there. I'm going to hold it for a second because it's wet. All right. And so then I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card. Now you can pop it up if you'd like. You can put this straight. You can put this in the center. I'm going to put it over here on a little bit of an angle. It does cover up my sunglasses, but that's okay because we have another pair of sunglasses. So let me just put this flat down here, fun in the sun, and then I will use dimensionals on my sunglasses. So let's grab my dimensionals here, right here, right here. Here we go. And I'm going to put one behind each of the lenses just so that it's popping up nicely. And I'm going to put these here. I'm actually going to cover up the ones that are there so you can actually see that they are pretty much they're the same size because we use the same die to cut it out. I probably would have tilted it a little more, but I think it would have looked funny with that sticking out, the other sunglasses sticking out. And then I'm just putting my dimensional on the back of my flower, and I'm going to put this down here. Now, normally I would add, some gems or something, but I didn't know, I didn't have the right colors that I wanted. So I chose not to for this card. You could certainly add some flowers, and I did not do that with my team only because I didn't, it was going to take me another hour or not an hour. It was not bad, as I said. It would have taken me a little while longer to cut out some of these flowers. But let's go ahead and add them to this card. And so, because you kind of, it's always nice to have an odd number. And so I'm going to put this flower over here. So we're going to end up with 5 little die cuts on this one. But you can see that on each sheet you get 2 or 3 of the little flowers, whole flowers that cut out nicely. So you can see this one would have gotten me 4 out of there. So that would have been nice. But I was only getting 2 or 3 when I was doing it. So that's why I ended up abandoning trying to give the flowers as well. And so I'm just going to put that under there, just kind of to stretch this out a little bit, layer up our little embellishments. So we've got some fun in the sun, and thank you, Anne. I'm glad you like it. And so you can look forward to seeing this bundle starting on July 1st, which is next week, and I hope you'll look for it, and I hope you'll take a look at all the wonderful Christmas and fall items that are going to be part of that online exclusive release as well. So if you have any questions, let me know, but all the dimensions and all the products used are in the description of this video, and I hope you give it a try. So thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.